there are people that think you're going to frack it no matter where it is, but in truth, there are some benefits to being as close to target as possible, or at least at the very least away from the perils of an ash bed or something if you get you stuck. So proximity to target or proximity to pay zone is an important piece, and then time. I mean, it's still kind of I find it interesting that in the onshore market, our drilling time is something in the 50 cents to $1 a second. So if you think about it in that context, like in my head, I think of a little spinning meter on a gas pump just spinning like crazy as far as what the cost is. Time is quite valuable in our space. It's even worse than offshore. So the challenge we had is we had almost infinite mathematical solutions for the torpedo to hit the target or for the drill bit to get to stay in zone. And we had to figure out how to prioritize the best solution every time we had a survey, every time we had a new piece of information. We ultimately took torch velocity, proximity to pay zone, and time and put those in a common denominator of dollars. So it's called drilling by dollars. And so it was relatively easy for us to convert time. If we knew the RLP in recent history, knew where we're going, we could backtrack that and figure over the next several hundred feet, it's going to take us this much time, which was equated to dollars. With proximity to pay zone, we used like an accountant's perspective to say, what's the net present value per foot of the well if I'm on target, if I'm away from target. And so that was a value we could apply to every foot of the projected what we're going to do in the future. And the last one was torch velocity, which was a little softer, but we had enough data from industry about casing, wear or sucker rod issues or pump failures that we could put a dollar amount on that. It was a little bit looser, but it was something you could stack in. And then you just kind of sort, there's some machine learning and whatnot there, but you sort this by what is the most optimal, financial benefit today on what to do forward. And that's what drove our turn-by-turn navigation, which became Motive. But wow. It's a little bit of a long-winded explanation, but we leverage other industry knowledge. We recruited people that were software developers in those industries or other industries that were parallels. We lived and did coding work on rigs. One of the beauties of being a software team in an operator is that we had full access to all the data, all the rig sites and whatnot. We literally, for months, 3 or 4 weeks at a time, would be out there in this little shack with bunk beds with the core developers developing solutions for the rig, and that was magical as far as not only for making progress and seeing it firsthand, but getting a sense of the domain for people that didn't have that background. Not a single software developer that came on the team, at least for the early stages, had ever seen a rig floor. And that's something that sort of that immersion into the target application space was critical. So that was another thing that was a major impact to getting us going in the right direction.